York, Randall Winston. Mesdames et messieurs, c'est un honneur de présenter le maire de New York, Randall Winston.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Matt here from Matt Likes Comments and Comics. And I am just, I wanted to check after last night's show on Alan's thing, where I was having issues with my equipment. I just wanted to go on and see if anybody, and I see, thank you very much for showing up, Nate. Nate, how is my microphone going? Can you just make a comment with regards to it, if you're still there? I just want to see if this buzzing noise or whatever was continuing, because it seemed to have gone when I went and did Biggie's show last night. So great. I'm glad to hear it, Nate. I've come here today, besides the test, to answer a few questions that I've received on some of my videos. And one of the questions I had received was, what is your favorite book and what is your not so favorite book? Well, it was easy to answer my favorite book. My favorite book of all time is this. DC Comics presents Superman and the Legion of Substitute Heroes. This is a hilarious book. This is a wonderful book. I really think that people out there, everybody should read this one. It's got silly jokes. It's got superheroes by the handful, and it is well written and reasonably well drawn. So give it a read. As for things that I don't like, I'm not a big fan of X-Men. I wouldn't say I hate them, because I've read some good X-Men, and I really like seeing. I will read anything. So I mean, if it's a comic book, I'll read it. So the answer for that is, it's hard to say that if there's anything I really don't like. There have been individual issues of things that I've not liked, but it's not up for me to really say what they are, in the sense, because I don't remember which books they would be. I do remember a Hulk issue from mid 80s that I read, and I thought, oh, this is garbage. And it turned me off the Hulk for a while. And I remember that some of the X-Men stuff, then one of the reasons I don't like the X-Men very much is the non-Claremont stuff from the early 90s, after Bishop and Cable came along. I personally didn't find it good. I was buying X-Men at the time, but I was personally finding it not good. So I stopped buying it, and I really haven't bought X-Men since. Speaking of comics that I'm not a huge fan necessarily of, I have never been a big fan of the Amazing Spider-Man, in the sense that I buy the books. I used to buy the books purely because investment purposes. Like, I completely agree with you there, Nate. Any character, book, or series can be written well and also not so well. And in this case, the X-Men certainly didn't keep my interest long enough to keep going. And the other thing is, the Amazing Spider-Man, I enjoyed some stories, but not others. I personally found it hit or miss, but I was buying it because Amazing Spider-Man stories, especially anything before 1996, from an investment point of view, has been a pretty decent haul. Even the middling, not so expensive books have been known to be pretty. They've sold quite a bit. So I hope that answers the question that I received with regards to what my favorite and not so favorite are. I also didn't like some of the 70s gold key from the I call them the painting slash photo books, things like Space Family Robinson and other things from that sort of point of view, because again, it just maybe because I was too young when I read it and I didn't appreciate it as much as I could have if I was to reread it today. But back then was a little hard to read and understand as a child, so I was very hard pressed to enjoy that. Hi, K Munin. Sorry I didn't. Was in the middle of when you came on. Glad that you could make it. Yeah, and I will say this to K Munin: the stuff that you tend to like as a kid and you idealize, for example, this book, tends to stick out later. The difference is, can you read it later and it still hold up as one of your favorites? Well, in my case on the DC Comics Presents, it still holds up. For anything adventure, for me, still holds up. Hi, JSS. It's good to see you along. I'm just here answering some questions that I have gotten recently. And here's another. This is the first appearance of Lightning Lass. In this story, she tries to take her brother's place by claiming that he was him. Sunboy knew the story, but Sunboy was Lightning Lad's best friend. So, yes, K Munin, I found them and they're on their way to my house as we speak. JSS, I'm glad to see you. And Hall, yeah, I saw that you sent a lot of that stuff to Steve. He's in for a good read if he's Oh, yeah. If we're gonna go with superhero names, then as long as you use my first name and not my last name of Likes Comics, that's just confusing. So now the next question I've been asked is people have been teasing and asking about the Smurfs up here. No, I do not have a Smurfette. Yes, I've been actively looking for a Smurfette. I would love to have one to go up there. I'm sure I will find one soon because I got a couple of local guys looking for me. And there's a toy show in Ottawa in a couple of weeks. And those two guys are going to be there with their comic books. So hopefully they can get back to me and say, yeah, Matt, look, we got you this Smurfette. And I'd really appreciate, of course, I'm going to really appreciate that. You know who you are out there. If you watch this, you'll know that I will appreciate that very much. I do like the Smurfs a lot. I grew up with the Smurfs. I started reading the Smurfs in French back when I was in French class in grade 2, grade 3. And then when they went into English, I was absolutely ecstatic because they were a lot easier to understand when they were in English. So I'm going to put the call out one more time. How is my sound? Am I making buzz noises? As I know 2 of you were there last night. Great, no answers. I'm perfect with that. Now, the third question is a little tougher. I was asked both privately and thank you, K Munin. I appreciate that. Thank you, Jerry. Muffish. Oh, well, I apologize there, JSS. Sometimes my voice is a little difficult, as I'm about to explain. I have been asked on a couple of occasions, sometimes in the notes, like the comments, and sometimes I get personalized messages. People are asking me a lot, are you okay? You're out of breath a lot. Well, there's a couple of answers to it, and they're not easy. I'm not well. I have had a couple of things happen to me over the years that have made my lungs and my heart pretty bad. And as a result, sometimes sometimes things can get difficult for me to breathe, and that unfortunately sometimes comes across on camera. And I'm sorry if it. I don't think it bothers anybody. No one said that it bothers them, but I just want people to know that I'm going to be okay. I've had lung damage done from. I had pneumonia a few years back, and during the treatment for that, they didn't realize I'd had a collapsed lung. And so it wasn't noticed, and it didn't heal properly. And so I've always got a bit of a wheeze. And that leads to me sometimes not having the breathing strength to really punctuate the words like this. So my heart is genetically, shall we say, difficult on top of everything else. So I'm already not getting enough oxygen from my breathing. So sometimes it's making my heart race, and it makes me tired and even more out of breath than I normally am. So I just wanted everybody out there who was asked and everything to say, I'm okay. I just want, it's just lifestyle things I have to live with. So please bear with me out there, and I appreciate the concern. I know that you're not doing it to be mean and stuff like that, and I really appreciate people that take the time to ask me about it. My subscribers are some of the best people in the world. I've seen them on other channels, and they always say great things. They always have great questions, great comments. Nobody has been known to be a, shall we say, a troublemaker, for lack of a better phrase. I think that my subscribers are the most fantastic people in the world, and I appreciate everybody's concern. But don't worry about me. I'm going to be fine. I'm under doctor's care, and have been for years. So medication's going to be adjusted shortly. I've got a doctor's appointment in 2 weeks. They're going to be changing a few things. I only hope that it doesn't make me more tired than I am at times. Okay, now I'm going to open the floor here. If anybody's got any questions, and if not, I'm just going to show a couple of books I got at the Auto Comic Con that I didn't show last night on Alan's show, because I did get a lot. There will be videos I've already taped of these books coming up. So my favorite soda is Diet Pepsi. I also like cream soda. No Hall, yeah. Okay, that's your favorite soda. Here is Hall Yeah's question. Do you have Action 293? I think I do, but I would have to check. I would have to double check my list. So I can get back to you on that on a private. I can send the answer back on that. My Zombie Tramp collection is one book. However, my local comic store has a lot of Zombie Tramps. So once I get around to it, I can actually get more Zombie Tramp books. He has probably about 30 different issues there. And most of what he has is the not so nice versions, the ones that you got to cover up. So that kind of thing. Show JSS Brooklyn is asking, my favorite old movie and modern. It depends on your definition of old. So why don't I come back to you when if you tell me what the year break you want me to use? Rarest comic I own. I own a Comic Tom exclusive, one of 300 Batman 121 Batman 121s. That is probably the rarest book I own in terms of numbers printed. Thank you, Nate. JSS is asking what my favorite indie comic would be. Well, The Further Adventures of Indiana Jones, but jokingly, of course. Joking aside, it's Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Hands down, the Boom, whether it's Boom or Dark Horse, they've nailed it. Joss Whedon did some of the writing during the Dark Horse years, so naturally the same type of writing is gone, but you can tell that the people writing Buffy for Boom were fans and knew how the show went very well, because the writing behind it was just as good as watching the show. Okay, so JSS pre-75. That's a little tough because almost every movie I've seen. But I will say that I really, really like The Bride of Frankenstein for pre-1975, and nothing beats The Empire Strikes Back. I saw it first time in the theater when it came out as a kid, and just the fact that there was a movie out there where the bad guys won. Oh man, it was great. Okay. Thank you, K. Munin. Cool. All right. Though I may not be an X-Men fan, who is my favorite member of the group, Wolverine. I mean, like, I did like his solo books a lot. His solo books, I mean, maybe they were different writing or whatever, but they went into different directions, right? And quite simply, it was much better on that sort of thing. Thank you, JSS. Hi, Steve. Welcome to the show. Since this is a question answering show, if you were to check out one of my older live streams, Steve, I answered your question with regards to the heroes, the Marvel comics that were the Heroes Reborn, where it was 13 issues each. I hope you've had a chance to see it. I did answer your question. I did not ignore it. It's a long explanation. So if you want to check that out, I think it was the last one that says questions answered. The second, that would have your answer to your question in it. Okay. Well, since there's no questions at the moment, I'm going to quickly show a few books. Here is volume 6 of the Who's Who in the DC universe. This one has the demons, so Dr. Fate, so I guess it's around the D's. Yeah, it's Daily Planet to Dr. Polaris. This one is pretty cool and gives me about, I'd say, 10 of the 26, which I hope to finish someday. They're a great. Thank you, K. Munin. I really appreciate that. My coming on to answer the question about my breathing and stuff. That's why at the con I didn't take as much footage as I would have liked. My lungs and heart were acting up a bit at the show, so I actually had to spend a few periods of just sitting around and not moving much and resting, so to speak, so I could walk around again. So it was a little rough this year, but that's why I did film what I could at the time. So I'm hoping at the next con I can get more footage. This is Avengers 276. I like this one because Thor just looks so determined. And Thor, I find that they don't use Thor's leadership powers that much in terms of the Avengers book, because Captain America seems to take that away. And when it's not Captain America, it's like Henry Pym. So to see an Avengers cover where Thor is the leader of the team, I really like this. So I picked it up. I'm working on the complete run of Batman Confidential. I need like 4 issues left. I will probably get them from very soon. I'm going to put them into my box. I had the last, by the way, I did have something taken out of my cart at my comic shop. I have just suffered the same fate that certain other people we know has happened. Unfortunately, they didn't have any more copies of the book I had taken. So I'm going to have to wait a little longer to find. I couldn't find a copy at the con either. But we'll go from there. Here's Batman Confidential 28. It's a nice Riddler cover. Well, let's say hi to Canadian Survivalist. I'm glad you're here. I hope you're having some fun, hanging out on a Saturday. I don't normally do the Saturday afternoon ones, but with the issues I had on Alan's run yesterday and changing up everything this morning, I just wanted to make sure everything worked. Yeah, I don't think it was either of them. They wouldn't be interested. It's too modern, K Munin. And the book that was taken from my cart was Stormwatch 37. It's the first appearance of Jenny Sparks. That was something that, strangely, nobody at the Ottawa Comic Con had. Considering some of the other books I was able to find and locate and use, I was surprised that it wasn't there. So, Hazu, I hope that answers your question. Actually, I hadn't mentioned what book it was up to this point. And hello, Hazu. I'm glad you can make it. So here is what I got. Okay, I don't know if people have heard me say this, but Batman Confidential is like an updated Batman Legends of the Dark Knight, where it's tales that supposedly take place before early in Batman's career and stuff. So in this storyline here with Batman Confidential, Batgirl is in Barbara Gordon. It's not been shot yet by the Joker. So in this issue 18, this issue 20, and here issue 21, she is still a character who's active as a superhero. So we're very happy about that. And how did it go there, Survivalist? These just fall in the category of I saw them for cheap and I got them. There's 4. Ultimately, I got 4. Here are 2 of them right now. Justice League America 12, which I love for the Black Canary on the cover. And Justice League of America number 14, which has a Rogues Gallery, Grodd and Poison Ivy, the Joker, the Cheetah, because it's the Injustice League. And I think that's great. I haven't read it yet, K Munin, but I do know from other research on other topics that yes, there was a fight between them at some point. But they get over the Batman makes them get over their crap and they end up working together. I'm glad that you had a fantastic time, Survivalist. I love going to my local comic shop. For those that have seen the video, it's just every time I go there, I find something different, something fun. He's always buying books. So, and in fact, there was an occasion that he actually messaged me first I got the 1988 Batgirl special from a video he posted, and he before he put it on the shelves, sent me a quick email asking me if I had it and if I wanted it, and I said how much. He gave me the price, and I said put it aside. I love. I love when they go out of their way like that. I get that from a few dealers around town, and I buy enough so that they keep doing it because it's really nice when people help you out like that. They note these things. It's this thing. The comic book community is one of the best in the world. We come from all origins. We come from all places. And all we have in common is our love of comic books, these little pieces of paper that have pictures on them. This is the current issue of the Knights of the Dinner Table, for example. They just have little pictures, and we love them, and we like to, yeah, Lau, I understand that was J&E Comics that I got those little sticker ones from. I always change my bags. I always put fresh bags on when I buy something at a show. It doesn't matter how cool they are. It doesn't matter if they're Mylar. If they're new to me, they get new bags. I usually replace Mylar with Mylar, but generally speaking, it's not a big deal to me if the stickers are on the bag or not, because I change them all too. Same with the boards, because I don't know for you guys, but you never know what the other dealers have used to put their stuff. You don't know the product, and more importantly, you don't know how long it's been in the bag. I mean, you get a guess because of the year the comic came out, but for all you know, they got it the week it came out and got put in the bag then, and that's how long it's been in the bag. And I personally try to change my bags every 3 to 5 years. Certainly, I mean, books get missed, books get thrown around, but I mean, like, what'll happen is, for example, if I grab box 46 right here and I'm going through and I see that like I'm looking for a book, okay, and I see that, oh, this area of bags looks bad, I will take them all out and replace the bags right away. It's expensive, but honestly, I'm never sure of the quality, because at the same time, if you go to, I don't know how it is for most of you, but going to local comic stores, for example, to get my products, a lot of them only carry one type. And so you don't really have much choice. It's like, okay, I need regular bags. Well, all I've got is this one. So I treat everything. I treat everything as if it's brand new to me, and I just rebag everything. I find it's a good thing. Here we got World's Finest 298. I think it's another good cover of Batman and Superman. And this one is Son of Satan 7. I got this from Big Belly Comics. That's Ian Wallace, for those who know the local guys. And this is I didn't pay 15, but I mean, this is going to be another one I'm looking forward to reading. Oh, here we got Justice League of America, another one from that thing. This is another great cover. Look at all those villains. I am a big fan of the villains. And you notice, like, whenever Lex Luthor is involved and the Joker, they still always make Lex bigger. Lex is one of the few people I find that can actually keep the Joker in check. Yes, I'm able to get vintage and vintage books as well, K Munin. I just bought my local guy. He's the one I just bought a bunch of. I just bought a bag of Golden Age off him because I had a bunch of new Golden Age that needed bags, and I didn't have any. So now I did, and I've done like 30 books. I'm amazed now at how many actual Golden Age books that I have. I didn't realize that I'd been buying, but if you go by the fact that the Golden Age is 38 to 55, um, I've got like 30 Golden Age books now, most of them closer to the end, but I still have it, and I'm very happy about it because my collection, of course, modern, because I've been buying off the rack for 15 years, and Silver Age, because that is the stories that I really enjoy the most. And I agree, Canadian Survivalist, when buying new books can be very, I don't want to say the word exhausting, but exhausting to your resources for sure. That's why I've now got mine down to 16 books, and I am not going any higher. I'm not going for every book that comes out that I want, I'm going to get rid of one because I just need to keep it down. I am now actively trying to save the money to get my Action 252. Alan and Biggie were kind enough to sit with me one night here in a discussion and give me advice on how to use some of your books and saving techniques, actually. Because if you put things in a general savings account, sometimes you're like, oh, the car needs to be fixed, and you take it. They were telling me about things where you can have specific accounts and things like that for Canadians that could make things a lot easier. Biggie's not Canadian, but Alan is. And Alan is a businessman, so he knows that sort of stuff. But I bet you, Kay Munin, you just got back into it. You are going. I bet you find yourself going, oh, I need more. This is good, but I need more. Face it, all of us comic book collectors are a little bit hoarders at heart. This is World's Finest Comics 296. When World's Finest went from the dollar format, which it was until issue 283 or so, somewhere around there, to the end. So it was about 284 to 323 was the last issue. The stories, for the most part, got a little, I don't want to say weirder per se, but a little more out there. And that was okay until you get closer to the end. I think the second last issue involves tentacle love of some sort. It's on a Legends page of some sort. If you don't, thank you for stopping by, Steve. You have a great day. And thank you for stopping by there, Nate. Appreciate it. I'm not going to be much longer. I came on to answer, as I said, to answer some questions. And I'm just showing some books because I'm here. So I think yeah. Well, I think I'm going to actually wrap it up because my daughter's not feeling the greatest today, and my wife is out of town. So I want to thank everybody who stopped by. Appreciate it. Again, my subscribers are some of the nicest people in the community, and I'm really appreciative. So everybody have a great weekend, and enjoy your family, enjoy your hobby, enjoy whatever it is you like. If you know, my name's Matt. I like comics, so I try to enjoy them as often as I can. And I hope you like comics too. Take care, everybody.